Thank you for tuning in to this MuddaCluckin podcast. I'm your host, Dean Austin. D to the E, the A to the N. On my show today, I have an amazing, superb actor, friend of mine. Give it up for my man, Gary Anthony Williams. All right.
Yo.
Yes,
Coming
sir.
to you live from beautiful Valley Village, California.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, guess who I have in the house? I got brother Gary Anthony Williams. I call him my dog, but I'm gonna call him my gal.
You got all three of us up in here, man. You got Gary, you got Anthony, you got all of us. One of us, as they say, where I'm from.
One of us. Now you from the South, right? You from the South, right?
I am. Oh yeah. I'm from south of Atlanta, a place called Fayetteville, Georgia. But I was born in Atlanta. Okay. Grew up in Fayetteville, then moved to Atlanta when I was a young man with dreams and hopes.
Man. You still a young man.
Oh yeah. No, I'm super young. The doctors, they can't even figure out how young I am, dude. I'm a medical miracle.
Yeah, I know.
Like they have no idea. They tried to count my rings, check the length of my fingernails. I'm just super. I'm, as they say on my street, I'm super young. Super young.
The Valley man. The Valley.
Yeah.
Now
You're a Valley guy yourself. I see you bumming around my street all the time.
Man,
look, I ain't gonna tell people where I live, but this dude won't stay off my street.
I'm
here. The only reason I'm here to do this podcast today is to let you know the neighbors want you off our street. You don't deserve
I know they
to be
do.
on this
I know they do.
You don't deserve to be walking down this beautiful tree line street full of beautiful white folks. You stick to where I don't know where you live, but by the way, by the look of that house behind you, you done broke into some white man's house. We all know there's no way in hell you could afford that beautiful man you sitting in.
Now, y'all didn't see. People don't know you the voice. Matter of fact, brother, I did not know that, man. You are the voice of Uncle Ruckus on Boondocks.
Yeah, bro.
That's dope. That's dope. My brother would love to hear this. My brother was gonna go crazy. I love
doing that horrible human being. It's one of my favorite things. He's horrible. He's a horrible human. Horrible. But he's so horrible, it makes us realize how horrible he is, and hopefully none of us want to be as horrible a human being as he is.
Right, and very funny, of course. Very funny, very hilarious. That's what makes him so funny. He's horrible.
He's horrid. Luckily, you got Huey and Riley and the rest of them to balance out his horribleness. Because if it was just him, like, oh no, this is not good.
Right. Yeah. Now you've been in several films, television shows. Whose Line Is It Anyway? I'm Sorry. You've done it all.
I have to do all these things so I can be as well off as you. I mean, you can do, look, you do your comedy, you get out there on the road, you bring home. I know that you always wear extra pairs of cargo pants. Okay, and I'm going to tell you all about Dean. I call you Clean Dean at my house, by the way. I'm going to tell you about Clean Dean.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Clean Dean wears like 5 or 7 pairs of cargo pants to his shows so he can stuff all them pockets full of all that road cash.
No, ladies and gentlemen, he calls me Clean Dean because I'm outside cleaning his house.
Right.
I'm out there doing yard work.
Dean, I'm an humble man. Some people say humble, but I'm an humble man, Dean.
You've lost the H. You've lost the H.
I'm so humble, I can't even find the H anymore. I'm just that humble.
That's humble, brother. That's humble. And you have a movie out right now, Block Party, bro. I did not know that. I was so shocked because, Antoinette Robinson's in it.
Yeah.
From the white girl. What's it called? White girls. What's the
Dear White.
Dear White
People.
Dear White
She's in it, man. John Amos from
the legendary John Amos.
My
girl,
what's her name? Lunel.
Bay Area comedian.
Yeah. A lady from Color Purple whose name just literally just flew out of my head. right now. No, it's
It's a full cast,
a star-studded cast.
and you round it off, my brother, because
I
you
I
kill
play
on
a
everything you touch.
I play a
Everything.
loving and gentle husband,
Yes,
understanding,
I
who
can tell how
understands the
loving
needs of his child and wife. No,
you're
it
the
was fun, man.
mediator.
We shot it in Grand Rapids, Michigan, a year ago. Yeah, that was a pretty quick turnaround for the movie. We shot it a year ago up there, man. I had never been to Grand Rapids before. I learned a
Have you,
lot.
you've been to
That
Michigan before? First time to Michigan as
that
well?
was my first time in Michigan too. Yeah.
Yeah, Michigan's
Lake,
nice.
yeah, Michigan was cool. Like, I was up there, so the movie, little backstage Hollywood stuff, but the movie takes place in Grand Rapids, but it's supposed to take place in the summer. And we were shooting like right before fall hit, so we had to hurry up and shoot before the fall leaf changes because it's supposed to be in the middle of the summer. Or else she was like, if not, then we're literally gonna have to glue leaves back on trees when we shoot. So man, we were hustling trying to get that thing
Yeah, I
shot.
was doing it tight. That's called guerrilla shooting.
Yeah, we had to act fast. I was like, act fast so you can slow it down
what you gonna
later.
do? Hey.
slow it
And
down
cut.
slow it down later. We had to act at Kevin Hart speeds. I mean, he's a fast actor. We had to
Yes.
act that fast. That dude can act fast, man. Hey, look, I'm a fan of Kevin's. I've done a movie with Kevin. That dude can act fast. So if not, I gotta adjust my new. This is the first time I'm using this mic, Dean.
That's all right.
Actually, so it's a brand new.
Look at you, new. I can tell you rolling in the cash. You got new units, new.
No. By the way, and I hope people don't get upset with this. That beautiful stone fireplace that Dean has behind him, all slave built. He owns his own slaves right here in beautiful California.
Yeah, only 3. Only 3.
That's as much as any man.
That's
needs.
what you can do. You can't look. You can't, Gary. You can't do more than 3. You get in trouble.
If you got more than 3 slaves, then you got a problem yourself.
So if it was you and I and one more, we got a team.
Yeah, that's it.
We got a team.
No, man, this is I bought a little mic so I can take on the road to do all my voiceover work, at least auditions on the road. But here in my room, over to this side of me, is a big metal box where I record all my cartoons from there.
Right, you were telling me about that. You bought it. It's in your home. You step in, booyah!
Yeah,
you do it and come out.
Yeah, I step in there. Yeah, and I hate to say it's true, but yeah, I'm exactly like Superman, and I hate to say it because it sounds like I'm bragging.
Let me say it.
Okay, please say it for me, because I'm exactly. Like yes. Oh, feels good to be me.
That's how we roll, man. That's how we roll. Now, when you did Block Party, when you shot it, you had to shoot fast, and it came out. The turnaround was from last year to this year.
Yeah, it was from fall, and that is a fast turnaround. So it came out Juneteenth, really. So that was a super fast turnaround for a movie. But everybody seriously was so cool on that movie. Everybody understood we got to get this done. Man, there was a big scene that I was supposed to be shooting with my wife in the movie, and it was supposed to be outside in the sun, but it was pouring down rain in Grand Rapids. I mean, it was pouring. So the director at the last minute, she was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to move it inside this big building. I'm going to put up these fake tents. So now it looks like you guys are sitting inside, but put all this bright light so it still looks like you're outside. And nobody had any idea, like, that scene was shot in the middle of a pouring rainstorm inside. She matched it up with all these other outside shots to make it look legit. So I guess, Dean, what I'm trying to tell everybody is Hollywood is a lie. It's just a big lie.
Right. We both know that.
It is. But sometimes it's fruitful. So,
it really is. It really is. You learn a lot from making those transitions and being able to adjust and pivot. You got to pivot, brother.
You got to pivot. You got to keep that 1 foot planet.
1 foot.
Else they're going to give you traveling.
Speaking of pivoting, you are the best pivoter I know. I'm going to tell you why.
Because what I did. I'm
going to tell you. Let me tell you.
I'm listening.
You were a big man back in the day. You were bigger than what you are.
Yeah.
And you switched it. you not only took acting to the next level, but you took health to the next level and became vegan.
Yeah, well, okay. So, hi everybody. Gary Anthony Williams here, Fayetteville, Georgia. Pleasure to meet you all. So I've been big pretty much all my life. Only a couple of times in my life was I not. So my regular weight until about 8 years ago was usually anywhere between like 350 to 380 pounds. Like that was my regular weight.
That's a big brother.
Yeah. But you can act. You can act at that weight. Like they're always looking for some big dude. Like if he's heavy or tall, they're always looking for some big guy. But so I was already a vegan though, man. I've been a vegetarian since 87.
So
and then a vegan since 96. So I was already a vegan. But you can be
vegan while you were big.
Vegan. Huh? Say that again.
You were vegan when you were a big man.
Oh yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. The change I made is I created my own diet plan called White is Evil. And literally what I did was I cut out all the white stuff. I cut out the bread, rice, pasta, potatoes, wheat, any kind of wheat, and most grains. And I just stopped eating it. And then, dude, the weight just fell off.
So everything white you cut out. That's amazing.
Yeah. I eat, I'll eat some quinoa because it's like high in protein and it's a different kind of grain. I don't even do like oat, anything like that. I'll eat grits now and then because I'm from the South. I can't get totally disowned.
You ate a rib on Black Party. I know that wasn't a real rib.
A vegan rib, man. They went to this joint and brought me some vegan ribs. They ain't got no bones. So they're like, you gotta eat it. You got to make it look like it's got bones in there,
I noticed it.
I was destroying all the ribs, all the vegan ribs that day.
And you actually mentioned that to me before I saw the movie and before I knew it was coming out. You said, I did this. You said, I did this scene, man. I was eating some vegan ribs. I said, what? Yeah.
The sauce was delicious. That's the key. Let's be honest. That's the key to any barbecue or rib, man. It's that sauce. It don't matter what's under that sauce.
No. It's the sauce is everything. The sauce.
You could eat, and this is not suggesting anybody eats a puppy, by the way, a live puppy. I'm not suggesting that. Hold on 1 second, Dean. Hi, America. It's Gary Anthony Williams. I'm not suggesting you do this, but know that you can. If you covered a live puppy in a delicious barbecue sauce, you could eat it too. Yeah, it's all about the sauce, man.
It's all about the sauce, brother. It's all about the sauce.
Yeah,
we both know that. And after meeting, actually, I've been thinking about not eating meat for a while. I didn't want to become a vegan. I just decided to try not eating meat for a while, for like a week.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. What happened to you?
And then it turned into a month. And then it kept going. And I haven't eaten meat since last year, almost 2 years now.
Wow.
But it's one of those things, because I'm not saying I will never have fish again or eat anything, but it was something that I wanted to try to see if I can do. It was a form of discipline.
And it's also like the biggest here's the problem that a lot of people who stop eating meat, they'll replace it with carbs. They'll replace it with white stuff, and then you'll put on weight or keep your weight, whatever. But what not eating meat definitely does, it will, if you ever had a cholesterol problem, like if you don't get animal fats in your body, your cholesterol will drop if you ever had that kind of problem. And I'm like you, Dean. Like I grew up in the South. We raised and slaughtered our own animals. So I didn't stop eating meat for like animal rights or anything. I was around that process my whole life as a kid, and it was just kind of nasty to me, man.
You slaughtered something?
Oh yeah, dude. We would, if you want me to show you how to shoot a pig in the head and hang him upside down and cut his throat and drain his blood out and take his chitlins out, then snip off his hoofs, then let me know. Or if you want me to show you how to build a rabbit box, get him by the back feet, chop him back behind the neck till his neck is broken, and snip off his feet, then skin him, and then take his entrails out. Let me know. I know how to do all that stuff.
Okay, all right. I do want a rabbit's foot, though. I love rabbit foots. I had rabbit feet. I had one back in the day when I was a kid, but you
might not love them as much as they
Peter would be mad.
And they would be mad.
They'd be mad.
Like you might, unless you like put that rabbit a prosthetic foot on.
Yeah,
he's not gonna be happy with you.
A boot.
He's using that. Yes, a nice boot,
a
something
nice
fashionable.
rabbit boot would be nice.
Yes,
That's fashionable.
a red bottom, maybe a nice red bottom
A
rabbit boot.
nice red bottom for the rabbit.
Yeah.
See, this pair of R&Rs, red bottom rabbits.
Yeah, dude, man, we need. This is serious, man. We need to start this business because there's a lot of rabbits out there don't trade. They don't mind trading in their foot if they get a nice R&R. You know what I'm saying?
They don't.
I can't believe how much richer we're going to be after this.
Since you lost weight, has anyone ever said, "Hey, brother Gary, we want you to do a role and want to put you in a fat suit"?
Oh, dude. So when one time I was in this, I auditioned. This was when I was about 300. I know exactly how much I weighed. It was 340 pounds. Oh, so by the way, so everybody knows, I probably lost about 170, probably more. I think I was heavier when I started losing weight. So I probably lost about 170 pounds total. And I've kept it off for 8 or 9 years now. It's not, as long as I don't eat carbs, it's not coming back. Like that's
carbs will make it pop back.
They were my enemy. Like some people can handle them. I was not a person
you was a carb addict. Huh?
I wasn't even an addict, dude. That's the craziest part. My son used to watch me eating and he'd go, "It's not fair." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "How big you are. You don't eat that much." So I never was an overeater ever. You would never see me overeating. It was just what I was eating, man. So anyways, I was auditioning for this thing long ago. I was at I know it was 340 pounds because it was crazy. The audition size was like, looking for a black guy, 340 pounds. And it was this movie called The Factory with John Cusack. I audition, I get the role, I go up to shoot, and then I'm doing this camera test where they're like, see what you look like on camera beside the other person. And they started whispering. And the director came up to me and goes, you don't look like you're 340 pounds. I was like, "Well, you want to break out a scale?" He's like, right. "Yeah, we just thought it would look heavier." And I was like, "Dude, this is 340 pounds." Because I've never been like a big sweaty dude. I was just a big guy.
Right.
Played tennis, went on hikes. I was just huge.
Right.
So they were like, "Do you mind if we put a fat suit on you? Is that okay?" I was like, "You want to put fat on top of my fat? You go right ahead, friend."
They wanted to make you double stuff, bro.
They really needed it to look like, oh, this guy is big and uncomfortable, and like people's image of a fat dude, not a fat dude who's like, oh, he's still doing stuff every day. He's
right. He's still active. He can still move. Right?
They didn't want the active fat guy. They wanted the inactive.
Yeah, they want the lazy, kind of look like he about to pass out fat guy.
Like when you pull a tick off a dog and his little legs, can't go nowhere. Just a big belly. That's what they needed.
Kind of guy.
Yeah. So they put a fat suit on me. I was like, yeah, put it on there.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I thought about that. I'm like, would they have ever asked you to put a fat suit on?
That only when I was bigger. Like now,
they won't.
Now nobody's asking anything like that. Now it's just like different kind of roles. It's not work less or work more. It's just different roles,
And the thing that's inspiring about you, and every actor should understand this, an actress that in the business, that you made the pivot from being big working and losing weight working, because there are people who have been big who don't work after they lose weight.
Yeah,
I know some people.
Oh yeah, it can definitely. Hollywood is I always say it's a game, and you got to decide whether you want to play the game or not play the game. But yeah, you could definitely size yourself one way or the other, going big or going little out of a role. But I'm an actor first and foremost. I didn't get jobs just because I was big, and then or just because I was anything. Like I act and I play multiple characters. So if it was only we need that one guy who's that big guy who does that one thing, then I would have been out of work. But I do multiple things,
Right.
So
you're very versatile.
That was my saving grace, that or either I'm very versatile or I never learned how to do that one thing great. So I do a lot.
I'm gonna go with versatile.
It doesn't matter to me either way. I'm happy no matter how it works, brother.
Right, that's true. That's true. But that one great thing is acting.
Yeah. So look at that.
You see what I'm saying?
Clean
Next
Dean, I
level,
threw it
brother.
down,
One
y'all.
great thing is acting. You
Clean
can
Dean
do it.
threw it down.
You
Threw
know.
it down.
And not only you're a great actor, you're an environmentally conscious actor because you don't. Will you go back to gas? I know you have electric. Will you go back to gas?
No. But and for one of the reasons too is the sheer speed of electric cars.
I know. You told me that fast, bro. I
Dean.
know. I know.
Dude, you can go anywhere fast, even places you shouldn't be.
And take
Just
off fast, right? Take
hit
off
that
fast.
accelerator. Yeah, no, I can't even imagine seriously like going back to gas. And I drive long trips in my car too, you know. It's not like oh, you can only take it around town. Like you can go all the way across the country.
Right.
So yeah, man, I care about things.
So how
I
did you?
care about things.
What made you switch though? Because you were a gas. We all are gas
Well,
people.
but one of the things that actually made me switch is I'm a science nerd, man. I love science. I also love nature. Like, don't tell everybody this, but I know a lot of birds, man.
You taught me about the crow. Is the crow?
The crows and ravens.
Yeah, man.
Those ravens. No, I know a lot of birds, bruh.
You said
I
they come
watch
back.
birds every day, man, but in a gangster way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hard.
You know,
You watching like you like
hardly
a
watching
thug.
birds.
You like a
Yeah.
thug nature dude.
I guess it's better to say I be stalking birds, man. I
Yeah,
stalk birds.
you like hang with the hawks and the eagles.
Yeah, man. And let me tell you something, bro. I will sneak up on a hawk on any given day. Any given day. So yeah, no, I'm definitely and probably because of my daddy, it was hard for him to sit in the house. So I'm out every day hiking, just checking out nature, you know. It's hard for me to stay inside.
Right. And your son is athletic as well, right?
Yeah, my son, so first of all, I come from a huge family. I have 6 sisters, 2 brothers, and most of them, like both of my brothers were undefeated wrestlers, football stars.
Undefeated.
Undefeated, nice. Yeah. And my sisters, Belinda, Vet, Mary, 3 of them were like softball stars and or track stars. Like they were just ridiculous. I didn't do any of that stuff when I was younger. I wrestled a little bit. Then later I taught myself how to play tennis. I was like, oh, I could have been good at that. Here's the only athletic prowess I had. When I was in college, I probably weighed about 380 pounds. Okay. And I just went to this little junior college. I took badminton as a joke, man. And the coach, his name was Coach Harbill, and he talked like this. Gary, why don't you play somebody? So I get the badminton racket, and I proceed to kick him butt playing badminton in college. And then he was mad because I was this big fat dude, 380 pounds. So he had me start playing his athletes, and I beat them all. I would play 2 people at a time, dude. I would play 2 people at a time, and I was beating them all. And then he said, well, I'll play you. So then he played me, and he beat me by a point. But he got so mad because he came in for a shot, and I fired the little birdie at him and hit him square in the middle of the chest. You have never seen a dude so angry in your life. So I was not an athlete back then. My son came along, left-handed kid. So I tried to put a baseball in his left hand.
Left the best.
He wasn't the most coordinated kid. And then in middle school, he started running. And had to go into a school for like, hey, so here's how your kid's doing in English and math. Like he's a science dude. Like he's off at college. Well, he's here now, but he's in college, computer science. And they were like, yeah, he's not the most coordinated guy, but he sure can run. I was like, what? I didn't even know it. It's like, oh yeah, he has one of the fastest times in the mile here. Like, oh, and then he got in high school, and then he became a cross country runner and ran the 2 miles. So he's a distance guy. He's not a sprinter, but he's a good distance runner.
Distance is hard.
It's a whole different.
It's a beast. Whole different beast to be a distance guy.
Sprinter. And a lot of the guys who are great at it, Dean, are like him, like science minded, math minded guys. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if they can math it out
Yeah.
of what they need. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see though,
Very
a lot of them.
analytical, you know, and very
Yeah, very.
smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know, sprinters are dumb. No, I shouldn't say that.
Well, then I should have been a sprinter, man. I may have missed my sprinting.
I was fast.
See? Oh, yeah. I was fast. Was it called shuttle? Remember that thing you would like have to run and go pick this thing up and then go get it? It was called something shuttle where I was from. It was like you did it in PE. Like you have
Oh,
to run
wow.
to this one. They had erasers. Like
Like
run
a
to the
relay?
eraser, pick it up, pick it up. It was just you. And there was
Oh,
like
okay.
2 erasers. You run to eraser, get it, bring it back to the line, run, get the other and bring it back to the line. Like I was always fast at that little short burst stuff, but then that was it. You know,
Right.
I was a huge kid.
Yeah, my thing was dodgeball. I loved dodgeball
you
when
were
I was a
good
kid.
at it.
I was really good at dodgeball.
I was a target, man. You would have destroyed me. I could move. I was very light on my feet always. But, you know, there's a lot of surface
And
area
people
you
think
could choose
big
from.
guys aren't light on their feet or fast or smooth, but that's not
I was
true.
always light on my feet. Because the thing is, I'd been big all my life. You know, it wasn't like, oh, I got heavy when I was 12 or 13 or 14. I was big all my life. So I was used to moving, you know.
And that's normal. That's because in your mind, you weren't big. You was just you.
I was me. And still now I'm used to my size now. Like I'll see a picture sometime and go, oh yeah, that's right. That's what I look like. But in my mind, I'm still the guy I've been most of my life. I still look that way. You know, I still look at a chair before I sit in it and go, wait, is that chair going to hold me? That kind of thing. Like seriously,
Right.
seriously. Like,
Yeah.
but now, you know, when I had to travel great distances, just because I didn't want to inconvenience somebody else on a plane, I would buy 2 seats. I would buy my seat and the seat beside me because I didn't want to be pouring over into their seat or have to say, excuse me all the trip, you know? So
You're a good man because some people, they don't care. They're not going to spend extra money. They just going to put their lap on you.
yeah, well, if I had a beautiful lap, I'd throw it over there. You know,
They're just gonna put it on you, you know.
Pardon me for this next 4 hours
Right.
while you hold my lap, please.
Now, since the pandemic is coming down, winding down somewhat,
you could have said that a couple of weeks ago,
whoa,
but right now, dude, this BA5 is. If I could tell you how many people I know right now in the last 2 weeks that have gotten it, it's like. But let's just pretend. Let's just pretend.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll pretend, but let's say it like this. Now you, because we spoke about this about self-tape. We both hate self-tape.
Hate it.
We enjoy, you and I. We're people.
Yeah. Put me in the room.
We have to be in front of people. That's just how we roll.
I want to see the reaction. I want to see like make little micro.
You have an improv background too.
Yeah.
That's what the thing about. That's the beautiful thing about it. You have an improv. So, and I have comedy stand-up. So we go in front of people. So the self-tape is
it's horrible.
It's horrible.
For people who are not actors out there, it's instead of going to a room with a director and somebody else running the camera and or producer or whatever sitting there, and they giving you feedback, or you'll see them nod when you do something cool or look questionable, you know, so you can make little changes while you're doing your thing.
Right.
It's just you in a room with a camera. If you're lucky, your girlfriend is there to read you lines.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. And it's like acting in a void in space. Like there's no feedback. There's nothing. Some actors, Dean, love it. They're like, oh, I get to do it as many times as I want.
I know.
Not me. I want to do it one time. I want to walk in that room.
And that's it.
Get in my car.
Right. And go home.
Yeah.
I had one, matter of fact, day before yesterday.
Yeah.
I self-taped, sent it in, right? My agent sent me I thought it was a callback. I'm like, oh, already that fast? The next day? They didn't put something in the instructions. So I had to send it in again, Gary.
Yeah.
I said, but since I sent it in and they have the tape, can I just do the instructions or the little tape? They don't know. All over.
See, not a fan.
Not a fan.
On the other hand, voiceover, love it. Love it. And here's the thing, Dean, I used to do, if I was auditioning for something, I would send in like 3 different takes in a voiceover, 3 or 4. Now I figured it out. I literally do one. I do one the way that I think it should be done with their notes, like whatever little instructions they wrote. I'd send them one in. That's it. I don't send a whole bunch of extras. And I will tell you that my casting and voiceover went up a ton since I did that, because they can always adjust. If they see you can act, they can always adjust after that. Like, okay, hey, I like your audition, the way you did it. Now you have the job. Can you put a little bit more of a Southern accent on it, or Western, or make it more Indian, whatever.
Right.
But I don't spend that time doing 3 or 4.
No,
when I give them one strong one, and then that's it.
There are people who do maybe 4 or 5 or 6, right?
Yeah.
I may give you 2.
Yeah.
But
that's the most
I want to do, because
that's
like
the
you said, they can adjust.
If I give them 2, it's because I have 2 totally separate takes, and something is like, you know what? I know what you want. Because I will tell you this, dude. One time I did a commercial for Jack in the Box, a voiceover commercial. And the guy goes, and I did the commercial. It was super fun. The guy who plays Jack in the Box in the commercials, in that big head, that voice you hear, is the guy who writes all their commercials. That guy.
Oh wow, big guy.
And he goes, huh? Say that again.
Big guy. He's a big guy.
Yeah. And he said, you know why we hired you for this? I was like, no. He said, you're the only one who did not follow that gave us something different than what we asked for on there. And I was like, oh yeah, I figured you probably wanted something different. The truth is, I didn't read their instructions. They wanted they wanted some kind of New York guy doing this kind of thing over here. And I didn't read none of that, so I just played as this real threatening black dude, I just played and I was like, yeah, I figured you want something different. Like, I didn't know, man. All they knew is like, oh, that worked for them. That lit up in their ears, like, oh, that's something we haven't been listening to all day long from all the other actors.
Right. The best example that I can equate that to is when Robin Williams passed. I went to the Comedy Store. They were having a tribute for him, and everybody got up to speak. And I think one of his old managers said, Robin Williams, when he first moved here from the Bay, he went in for an audition. They were looking for a regular white guy. And he didn't want to go in as a regular white guy. So he went in like he was from Ukraine or somewhere. And he did it. He walked in that way. He did the audition that way and left. And they called his agent up, cussing his agent out. Why did you send this dude from Ukraine?
This Ukrainian.
He said, who? He said, Robin Williams. He said, he's not Ukrainian.
That's a trip, man.
And he killed it. And that's how he killed the audition.
Yeah. I mean,
because
it's great
not just the box.
Yeah. It's great not to just make regular choices, especially if you have if you're somebody who's just wired a different way. Like, if you try to stick yourself in that box that everybody else is in, it's just gonna be odd in the first place. And like, I want stuff to be fun. I seek joy in life, so make it fun for me, or I don't want to do it at all in the first place.
That's true. And you have some fun roles. You really do.
I know you're fun, man.
I know your bio. I know you, and we met. It's funny. I want to let everybody know I met you at Verizon, at Verizon Wireless, and you were getting the phone. My boy was getting the phone.
Yeah,
and I knew who you were because I recognized your face. But the thing is that we had a conversation, and it was, and I could tell the guy who was helping you. You was like tired of him.
Yeah,
but you was patient. You were doing your thing. You was doing it, and we started talking, and we just started cracking jokes. And from that on, and then I found out you did improv, and you found out you did stand up, and then it just flowed that way. Then I found out I was stalking you in your neighborhood.
Then I remember, like, didn't you text me one day and was like, I think I saw you in your window, something crazy, like, I think I saw you in your kitchen, like, what?
Yeah, I saw you cooking. Were you cooking rabbit? Anytime you see a black man walk by your window, you just wave.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But no, that's funny, and that's funny because you never know. And we have mutual people that we know, like, my cousin E40, which is dope.
Yeah. I met, and it's like crazy. I met him through like his lawyer or agent or something, like some weird way, and then I'm also the voice of Unsung. Um, and we had just done something on E40, and then his agent found out, and I was like, oh yeah. So then I met him that way. So we hooked up that way, man. And he's always getting in contact. He got that new tequila.
Yeah.
And
You
he's
tell me
like,
about
hey
it.
man, he's like, I
Is
got
it
some
good?
tequila I'm gonna send you. I was like, all right, boy. Brought their water.
Did you try it?
Yeah, no, I have several bottles at home.
Okay, all right.
As he told me about it a while ago, and I just gave up on it. And then one day out of the blue, he called me, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then it came like the next day.
Hey, man of his word.
Yeah, absolutely.
You weren't
Respect.
expecting that. Just popped up some tequila at your door.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going to.
How many
turn
people
down
get
free
tequila delivered to the door?
I'm not turning that down.
It wasn't Uber. It wasn't Amazon.
Yeah.
It was some brother pulled out a car.
Yeah.
Dropped it off and left. Like, who's this brother?
Hurry up, get it before somebody else do.
Right. You thought he was drive by dropping a bomb off. You know what he was doing. You're like, well,
He kind of did though. It kind of was. Kind of was a flavor bomb he dropped off.
Yeah. Now you say you come from a big family. Now, did anyone else in your family jump into entertainment or just you?
No, they didn't, man, but they could have. Like, everybody's funny, you know. I don't know if you learn to be funny, but I'm definitely funny because of the way my family grew up, you know.
Right.
My mama was funny, loud funny. My daddy was a quiet funny. My brother Jeff, who I used to deliver furniture with when I was like 13 years old, like always funny, you know.
Right.
So
I've always had funny people in my family as well, but
yeah.
I've always been shy. So
yeah, I was super shy, man. My kid is a shy dude, and I'm always telling him, like, I was very shy. Like, I wouldn't go to a grocery store to get something or a convenience store. You know, I was a shy guy. I still am, but you know, like in our business, you find other ways of coping with that, or
right.
just ways to make you feel comfortable by making other people feel comfortable, you know?
Right. And I actually was able to talk to women by making them laugh when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Girls,
Laughter,
you know?
laughter fixes everything. Like it does, right?
Right.
And
right.
even to me, like the most attractive women are smart, funny women. Smart and funny come almost before anything else.
Yes.
Before anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I love somebody smarter than I am, or at least smarter in some other field than I am.
Right.
And funny, like I can always take some levity in life, man. So
right.
Yeah, that comes first for me.
You wouldn't want to be with anybody that can't take a joke or not funny or doesn't have personality. You can't be in a relationship or be around people like that.
Right. Yeah, if they're super smart, I can handle that. You know? But yeah, definitely those matter. And like you said, like humor as an icebreaker or just a way to get through life, like
right.
it can get you out of a lot of situations that you wish you weren't in. And it's also just help you understand other people a little bit better, man. It is hard for me, what you just said, though.
What's that?
It's hard for me to totally understand somebody that doesn't have a sense of humor at all. That's tough. That's tough to understand.
Really tough.
Yeah. Or somebody who's just always angry about something and never, ever able to look at the lighter side of stuff. That's tough for me to understand.
That is hard. That's hard, especially because of how you are as a person.
Yeah,
your personality, you know, and me myself as well. It's one of those things where if you're that type of person and you like to have people that are, I should say, sunny or have a good attitude and funny, and you know, if you're that way, you need to be around people like that. It's kind of it's interesting,
or at least I would never want to be with somebody who's just like me, like a female who's just like me. I don't need that. Right, I like puzzle pieces, you know. And that, I think that intelligence to me also just goes a long way in that same thing. I like people who think, and comedy is comedy. Like you were joking earlier about being a stupid sprinter, but comedy is not a dumb person's game. At the very least, you got to have a lot of points of view, you know, to really
that's true.
Be successful.
And people say that all the time. People always say that. Yes, you know, comedians are smart. And to be funny, you have to have not just a sense of humor, but you have to be open-minded.
Yeah.
You have to be
Even
able to accept and adapt
yeah.
and understand
Even if
other
you're
people.
not brilliant, those things you just said, like even if you're not intelligent, that
Right.
acceptance, that adaptation, and just keeping your mind open to things coming in, that makes it,
Right.
because
Right.
yeah,
That's amazing, brother. That's amazing. It's funny, we were talking about earlier, talking about Uncle Ruckus.
yeah.
Now Regina King is amazing, man. I'm sure you've met her.
Miss Thing,
She is
she's killing it right now, man.
man. She was I did Southland with her,
Yeah,
and just a beautiful person. I mean,
she's
the
she's a
cat.
fantastic human being, ridiculously talented in
Yes,
so many forms. Yeah,
right,
she's great. Like she's wonderful. Like and what she's doing with her career right now, from directing to still acting, like producing,
right. That's
it
powerful. That's
it's
to be able to,
absolutely.
and very versatile. Because
Yeah.
I can only imagine directing this a different beast, a
Yeah,
totally
you
different beast.
gotta you gotta handle a bunch of different people's personalities that you might not be dealing with on a regular basis if they weren't in a movie you were directing,
Right, right, right.
So yeah, nothing but kudos to her, man.
Right.
She's really doing it.
And you have a lot of projects coming up, man. That's which is beautiful. We won't list them all, but you busy, brother. So I
It's
look
been
forward to
good,
seeing.
man. Like especially when COVID hit. I can't speak for you, Dean, because you're built in and wealthy already. But
Okay.
when COVID hit for me, like all the on camera stuff, except I was on a TV show when it hit. Um, then we took a couple of them. I was on the show called I'm Sorry, which I still love. One of my
Great
favorite.
show. Great show. Ladies and gentlemen, that's such a great show.
Yeah, I'm Sorry. They could probably still catch it on Netflix, probably. But so we were about to do a new season, and COVID hit, and it killed the show. Like that was it. It was done. Because she shot everything on location, so we couldn't shoot it during COVID. I was on another show on Netflix, so we shot about half of it, had to take a huge break, and then when it was safer, we went back and got quarantined and got in a bubble and shot the rest of it. But other than
Was
that,
that the
like there
one
was
with
not,
Kevin James?
yeah,
You
that
did?
with Kevin James, called The
Yes,
Crew,
the crew.
which I just played my daddy in that. Like honestly, I played this race car mechanic, and my daddy could fix anything. I remember one day he was working on the car and he came into the house. He's like, "Hey, Johnny," that was my mom's name. "You got any empty jelly jars?" And she pulled out a jelly jar. He got
Jelly
out his
Bells.
little wire snips and he started cutting this piece of wire and bending and went back out there and put it on the car and crunk it up, drove off. Like, wow.
He got
He
the
could
car
fix,
moving with jelly jars.
like
That's
seriously, and
amazing.
that's not a joke. It was like the top of a jelly jar lid. So he could fix anything. So like that whole character I was playing like was straight up just part of my daddy.
And you're
Uncle
probably
Ruckus is part of my daddy's friends who used to come over, who were just like these black dudes who just seemed to hate other black people. Like, what? First of all, what are they doing here? They all respected him, but like I couldn't understand them even as a kid. Like, what's wrong with these people? What's wrong with them? So I just kind of stole some of their personality and voice qualities for Ruckus. I'm always stealing from something.
so
I'm gonna make a fortune off of you, Clean Dean. I'm gonna steal your stuff.
I'm gonna tell you right now, when you got the role for Uncle Ruckus,
Yeah.
you did not know what direction you were gonna go. You just thought about
Well, I will.
people in your
So,
life.
my audition. First of all, and I'm looking at them right now. I've always been a fan of the Boondocks, and I read all the comics in the papers, and then I had all the Boondocks comic books, and then the audition came. My agent was like, "Hey, there's this cartoon called the Boondocks." I was like, "Yeah, I know it's." And they're like, "They're gonna make an animated show out of it." I was like, "I want to audition for every part, every male part." So I
Everything, right?
did. I auditioned for Huey, Riley,
Even John
Granddad,
Witherspoon's role,
Tom. Say that again.
John Witherspoon's role as well.
Yeah, Granddad. Yeah. Tom, the next door neighbor who Cedric Yarbrough wound up playing. I auditioned for all of them. And the last role was a brand new character that wasn't in the comic books. The last one I auditioned for that day. And that was Uncle Ruckus. and I took a look at him and they described him. I was like, oh, I know who this dude is. So I started doing that voice. And then Aaron Magruder, the creator, was at the back of the room, and I saw his eyes go. I saw him light up, and I left there that day, which is rare for me, going, oh, I got that role. There's no way I don't have that role.
Right.
So, but it was straight up stealing from my childhood, that guy.
And as an actor, that's rare to leave thinking, I got this. It's so rare.
That hardly ever happens.
Ever. I've only done it one time, brother. One time.
Yeah.
I read a role for a movie. I left and I said, I got this, and I ended up getting it. But
Yeah.
that's because I saw the reaction, and I actually put some comedy on it that they wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
It was like, where did that come from? And I just walked out and I said, I got that.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, a good friend of mine, Chris Spencer, was coming in to audition, right?
Oh, Chris, did you just tell him to turn around?
Chris looked at me and said, no, I got this, right? Then I ended up getting it. It was funny, but I love Chris. That's my dude.
Yeah, I see him in the mornings a lot. He'll drive by my coffee spot and just
do you? He's
blow his horn and say something smart and keep moving.
Yeah, he always has something smart to say. Yeah. that's why he did it, because it was me.
Yeah,
he didn't know anyone else. He just spoke to me when I was leaving.
Yeah, dude. No, that's rare. Like I never want to leave a room and not feel like I did my best or like brought something fun for me. That's like literally my purpose in audition is like, hey, how do I make this fun? How do I make this fun for myself? Because if I get this role, I'm going to be doing this role for the next 6 months or 10 years or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it better be something I really enjoy. So I always want to leave the room feeling like, okay, I had a good time with that and I could do that for the next 10 years. But rarely do I leave the room going, oh, okay, yeah, I got that. Yeah, that's not normal for me. It may be for some people, but not for me.
Yeah, no, I never think that. I always just give 100 and walk out and try not to think about it. When I first moved to LA, when I first started auditioning, I started thinking, man, I want that.
Yeah,
I would love to get that. And it's just you don't want to ever think that.
You will never sleep. You'll never sleep. I always, dude, back in the old days when we used to, the old days before COVID, when we would go into audition, I would take my piece of paper with my lines on it. On the way out, before I ever made it to my car, it would have been ripped in 8 pieces and put in the garbage can. Like I leave it right there every time. Leave it there. Like on to the next thing. Either that went great or not for me.
Right.
It's not going to matter. I'm not holding on to this piece of paper. I'm going to clear up my headspace for whatever's coming next.
Right. And what I would do is when all the actors in there, you can hear them going over their lines in the room. I leave. I can't be in there.
I don't want to hear you.
I don't want to hear you.
I don't want to hear anybody else.
It's nothing against the other brothers and people up in there. It's nothing. It's just you want to be in your head space.
Yeah.
And come in and do it and leave.
And I don't want to accidentally steal some rhythm that they just had. I don't want to take anybody else's anything. I don't want to hear their audition. Nothing.
None.
I want to go in there clean. Like, let me walk in. And if they go, who wants to go first? My hand is the first one up in the air. Let me get in. Let me get in and go.
Get out.
It's never hurt if I went first or second or last. Like none of that has ever mattered. It's like, what do you bring into it? And because it's Hollywood, is that what they're looking for that day? And you cannot take it personal if they didn't hire you that day. It's so much other stuff that plays into it. Most of the time, Dean, me and you probably don't get hired because we look too good. So we have to
we got the same haircut.
We got that going on. I got to shave mine. I hadn't shaved it in 2 days, but I'll shave it. Yeah, I'm growing hair. Can't have that.
You can't see it. You can't see it. You can see it.
I can see it a little bit. Look at that. I got to get rid of this, man.
The goatee. The goatee is,
I can't. I want to shave this off, but I don't. I don't know a couple of things. Number one, if I'm going to get called back for something where I have this, like I recur on The Neighborhood, and I've always had this. So am I going to get called in?
Yes.
Yeah. So am I going to get called in and then I'm bald faced? And number two, will my girlfriend still love me without it? I know she says.
I think she might. Did she meet you with it? Did she meet you with it? She met you with it, right?
We met long ago before we were ever even close. Years and years and years.
Oh, okay,
ago.
all right, man.
We were before.
You can have hair under your eyes. She'll still be with
You know
you.
what? I'm gonna test that. I'm gonna test that
Yeah.
theory.
You put a
I'm gonna
little bit
get
on
some of that
you
hair
play like
eyes.
your football player right under the eye.
Yeah. I get that right there.
She'll take it. She'll be like, "Oh, you look so good, Gary."
The under eyebrow, you're saying? I got
Right,
that.
the under
It's
eyebrow.
over.
But
Do
shave
the
the
under
top off
eyebrow.
and put it right
Okay.
here.
Right there. Yeah.
Under
Okay.
eye
Well, we'll
Gary.
see.
Yeah.
We'll
I know
see.
it'll work. And
Well,
and I know she'll even take you even if you have like rabbit feet, you cutting up rabbit feet on the side of the house, any of that.
hey,
You know,
by
she'll
the way,
take
ladies
you.
and gentlemen, what Clean Dean just did was a wonderful callback.
Yes, sir. That's
It's not something you should try at home. Unless
and ladies and gentlemen, Gary knows that because he's a talented comedian, improv actor. So please remember that too, and don't try that at home.
Yeah, don't try that, guys. I actually suggest anybody who, like, so many people have helped me, man, since I moved out here and before I moved out here. If you think you got a love for something like this, like the whole improv game, like, do that. I was told that I couldn't do it, you know.
What?
So
Really?
do it. Oh yeah,
Bruh,
yeah.
come on. Why would somebody tell you
No,
that?
people,
Mm.
man. So I was in Georgia. I was at this little junior college. A
In
guy came.
Georgia?
Yeah,
Okay.
the guy came down from Atlanta teaching a one-day improv class. And at the end of the day, he pulled me aside personally, and he said, "I just want you to know, you shouldn't do improv. It's not for you." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But I come from a huge family. Like, people just telling you stuff doesn't mean a lot. Like, that
Right.
doesn't. I don't know if he was really trying to help me or crush
No.
a dream or
Crush a
whatever.
dream. Crush a dream.
None of that matters to me. Like, you can't crush my dream with a word. You can't
Right.
crush something I enjoy doing with your word. Like, it's just not gonna work on me.
And what's
The
ironic is
next
this
year I
guy's
was hired
watching
in
you.
Say that again?
This guy is now watching you on
Well,
TV.
the next year I was hired in Atlanta, man, doing a show with him. I was on stage with him the next year. I never
Oh,
brought
really?
it up. Yeah. The
He
very
told
next
you.
year.
That's
I
funny.
left
He told you don't
college.
do it.
Yeah, you shouldn't do it. It's not for you. It's not for you. I'm like, wow, okay. The fact that he thought he needed to pull me aside to tell me that was magical to me.
Did
And
he
it
think
meant
did he think you were
that
competition?
dude, I don't know. And I kid you not when I go, it did not matter. It's like, it didn't matter. It really didn't. Like, whatever it was for, I don't
Yeah,
know.
right.
Nobody's ever going to. You're gonna have to find something way more than that to, like, make me rethink myself. Do you know
Right.
what I mean?
Or question yourself.
Like,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, that's not gonna work. You
That's
don't know
true.
me,
That's
because he
true.
literally didn't know me. No, didn't make me mad, didn't make me sad. Stuff like that usually makes me happy. To set
Right.
somebody's, like, a lady one time in Whole Foods came up to me and goes,
What she say? What she say
okay,
to you, Gary? What she say to
I have
you?
a couple of, I know we're about done here, but I have
No worries.
two of my favorite LA stories. And they won't even be a full story, but one was me standing at Disney at a Starbucks after an audition. Somebody touches me on the shoulder and goes, "Man, I love your acting." And I turn around as Sam Jackson, like Samuel L. Jackson, right?
That's a great story.
Great.
That's a
Second to that
humongous story.
Second to that is this lady in Whole Foods who one day in the frozen food section, we were about 10, 11, 12 feet apart, says to me, "You are not a good actor." And I was like, "Really? Why?"
What?
And by the way, this brought me
Wow.
nothing but joy, because she felt like, for whatever reason, I got to tell this guy. And, like, everybody's watching like it's a tennis game now. I was like, "Really? Why?"
Wait.
She goes, because I wasn't going to stop at that. I need to know the reasons. She goes, you are inconsistent and you bug too much. And she goes, "You bug too much." I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
bug your
okay."
eyes, right?
Right. It's like, "Oh, I'll give her some bugging. I can't help it, maybe. But I'm a pretty consistent actor." I was like, "Okay, I'll try to do something about that."
No, you
But to me, I left there, dude, as happy as could be. Like, she called me out loud. And let me tell you, when I say she did not seem like she had any malice, anger, any of that stuff, it did not seem like, oh, let me hurt this brother's feelings. It was like, you are not a good actor. It
You
was
got me
like so
crying over it.
happy. Yeah.
You got
So
me
her
crying,
and
brother.
Sam Jackson, man. Her and Sam Jackson, like,
It was total opposites. One was like, oh man, a legend just spoke to me. The other was like, I can't believe this woman just put me down
yeah, I loved it though.
in
Like,
front of everybody.
yeah, everybody,
She said, "You are
everybody.
not a good
You are
actor."
not a good actor.
Oh man,
And
that's
she had her
hilarious.
reasons. So I figured like she's been walking around for a
She
while. Like,
explained it to you. That's the thing about it,
if
Gary.
I ever
She
see
didn't.
him, I'm gonna tell him, and then I'm gonna explain the reasons why. And if he can't get it, I'm gonna use visuals and show him why.
Gary, you a fool, man. I
Uh,
can't believe she said that to you.
yeah.
And you were humble and you were gracious.
Dude, I
And you just
loved
he's like,
it.
well, I appreciate that.
Oh,
the, the
dude, not only
feedback.
that, on the way out, I wasn't done. She was at the checkout and I was way behind her, and I goes, hey, I'm gonna do something about not being a good actor. And she goes, oh, I'm not the one. I am not the one. I was like, okay.
What?
Bye.
Please don't tell me it was. Please don't tell me it was a black lady. Please,
I'm
please,
sorry. I hate to inform
please.
you. I hate to inform you. It was an African American. Yeah.
You a fool, Gary.
But it's better it came from her, came from my people.
Yeah.
Let me know.
That's you know what? You just have to roll with it. I'm a before I let you go, I'm gonna tell you a couple of stories. This is more uplifting. It was more like on a Samuel Jackson level. This is a New York story. You did LA. I'm gonna give you a New York story.
All right.
So I went to New York and I'm at Showtime at the Apollo. About to go on stage.
Wow.
The comedian before me bombed horribly. Okay. So I'm next. Gary, he's in the green room crying, bawling.
Oh, wow.
And I felt so bad. I'm such a compassionate person that I went to the green room to console him before I went on stage, and I'm next. I wasn't even focusing on my act.
Wow.
He crying, he's snot bubbles, Gary, everything.
Oh,
I said, hey, bro. I said, look, bro, it's okay, man. It happens to all of us, right?
Yeah.
I said, but it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna get it for both of us. So I go in there, I have a good set. I fast forward a year later, I called him up. I said, and this is way before Instagram and email. So I had to call him. I had to get him on the phone. No texting. I called him.
Yeah.
I said, hey man, how you doing, bro? He said, I'm doing all right. I said, so how's comedy? He said, that was my last night.
Wow.
It destroyed him. He was done.
Wow.
So that hit hard. And then I left when I after I spoke to him, I went back to New York. I did the Apollo again. This time I'm staying in Harlem, and my friend said, once you run to the grocery store or the liquor store, because they didn't have it was like a little corner store.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go grab something? So I go to the corner store, then I go to the post office, and I see this black lady standing there looking at me. And I'm nervous because I'm not from New York, and she was staring hard. So I'm thinking something's going down, right? I'm like, is somebody outside? Are they waiting on me?
Yeah.
So I walk out the post office real fast. She said, hey. I turn around. I'm nervous. She said, hey. I said, what? She said, you the one that was on the Apollo the other night? I said, yeah. She said, man, I loved you. And I was like, oh,
wow.
Thank you. So it was that hurt to a natural high.
Yeah.
So you get that feeling. It's kind of like how Samuel gave you that and she gave you that.
Yeah.
It was the same thing where I felt like, wow, this is crazy. I can't believe I'm about to get attacked.
Wow.
And
but to console that dude too, man, that's a beautiful thing, because you can have great days in the business, horrible days in the business, and like it may have been time for him to quit. Like it literally might have been. Like it may have been time to go chase another dream, or
that's true. I agree.
Or do what else. But like to take your time out just to console somebody and let them know, like, because when you look around, everybody's just a human being, man. Like that's all we are. Talent, no talent, fun, no fun, smart, not smart. We're all just people. We all need somebody else to go, hey, we're all part of this one big old interconnected thing here, man. If you're feeling it bad, like Yeah, we've all had it. So
That's true.
That was
That's true.
beautiful. That's the beautiful part of that story for me too, is take that
That's
time
wonderful.
out.
And I'm next on the butcher block. So for me to take my time out,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
to do that, but I had to do it. I
I
can't.
wish it was that same lady who came up to you though in that little bodega you went into. What you at the Apollo the other night? You are not a good comedian.
Right. You suck.
You remind me of that guy in
You
LA.
are not funny. I hate that joke you did about your mama. You know,
Your callbacks are weak. Like she's gonna give you that.
You buck too much on stage.
You buck too much on stage, and you do not have a good microphone technique.
You should do something else. Man, it's such a pleasure having you on, brother.
Right on, my friend.
Like I said, man, I'm happy you were able to share your knowledge and your time.
Yeah, and this shirt, you didn't even comment.
Oh
on
man,
this shirt, man, I'm
I didn't even see the shirt.
I'm
Man,
killing the shirt.
Wait, hold on, brother G. You put on your show shirt for me.
I
You
put on
your
the show shirt, man. This shirt been to Canada. All right. This shirt has been in the Midwest, the Northwest. I'm serious. This shirt has traveled, bro. It has seen.
Now I got a question. Since that shirt is so dope, did you take that shirt on the tour that you just did recently?
Yes, I bought this shirt for the tour, man.
What state you buy it in?
I bought the shirt in LA.
Okay,
to go out into the world.
Wow.
I took it across the border, man.
Man, I'm honored that you would even wear that shirt.
Yeah.
You know, you don't wear that shirt for anybody. Just for anybody. I understand.
You literally should be honored that I have this shirt on. The thread count is incredible.
The thread count?
The thread count is incredible. Egyptian hand-chewed cotton.
300 count?
One thread, bro.
One thread?
One thread. Making up the whole thing. See, that's more impressive than like a high thread count. You got one
thread.
This is one thread.
One thread is better than high count. People don't realize that.
Can you imagine?
Just one thread?
The care that it took
to put one thread on your back.
One thread to make this whole thing, including the threads to sew on the buttons. One unbroken thread. But if I ever get a snag, I'm messed up.
And the buttons are one button that's pasted on.
One pasted button.
One pasted button. That's amazing, man. Look, everybody got to see Block Party. Everybody has to see my man Gary Anthony Williams put it down. When you see his name, you better be there. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, let me just say I have a bunch of new cartoons coming up, but one I'm super proud of. It won't be out till next January though. It's called Moon. What is it? Moon Girl. It's from Marvel.
Marvel. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. But it's a black family, and the superhero is this little girl. She plays Moon Girl. I play her granddad. It's going to be terrific. Like I've been recording them for 2 years now. First record I did starting with COVID, so it won't be out till January. But make sure you keep an eye out for Moon Girl. Yeah.
Okay, Moon Girl.
Yeah.
And all black cast in animation.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, man, that's nice. I love it. Moon Girl. Can't wait to see it.
It's fun. Super fun. It's got some really good people in it. Lawrence Fishburne is in it. He's one of the producers of it. Oh, I know you call him Larry Fishburne. I'm sorry, dude.
No.
Y'all tight like
I call him Lawrence because I can't call him Larry. I'm not that tight with him.
Like I think you can. I met him one time. He didn't know who I was at all, but he knew that he should know my face. Like he looked at my face like I know you, but I know I don't know you. But you know what he called me?
What's that?
Baby. So if a grown man can call another man baby, hey baby. If a grown man can call another man baby, then you can call him Larry. Come on.
You tight if you call a grown man baby.
Because if you ever see me calling you baby, like you go, Gary, don't do this. But when Lawrence Fishburne calls you baby, you just go, hey, what's up?
Yeah, you're like, what's up? Yeah, what's happening, man? You know.
Hey baby. Hey baby,
I know you, baby. Almost like back in the 70s. What's up, baby?
Yeah, I couldn't figure out if I was time traveling or if I just looked cute that night. I didn't know.
Maybe you did. Maybe you had a certain type of shirt on, a special type of shirt.
I didn't have this one on though.
You didn't have one thread though.
I didn't have this one thread count.
You had one thread count. Moon Girl. Again, brother,
Girl.
thanks for sharing the screen and sharing the mic with me on my
My pleasure,
podcast.
man. My
Appreciate
pleasure.
it, man.
Really
and we'll
fun,
link
brother.
up for sure, man. We gotta get out there and get on the mountaintop.
Yeah, let's do it.
And you said at some point in time I get to roll your with you and your Tesla.
Oh yeah.
Tesla.
Anytime you want to drive that car,
I'm afraid that I will want
because it's not the expensive one. I have let everybody know I have the poor man's Tesla.
What you got, the Tesla?
No, yeah. They told me that I can get the T next year. They're gonna put the T on there.
You get the T is on layaway. You got the T on layaway.
It's on layaway.
You got the T on layaway.
It's not the rich guy's Tesla, so I'm not out here trying to floss. Dean
Don't
will
let
tell
him
you
fool
I
you,
live
ladies and gentlemen.
I live an humble life. I do not floss. Cannot afford to floss because my kids in college.
This Tesla is the bomb.
It's just,
and
it's a poor man's car. But you will then see what the poor man's Tesla is like, and imagine what the rich man's Tesla is like. Yeah.
I just know you drive a car like that, you might want to get one because it's so fast on the takeoff. And that's what I'm afraid of.
Well, but that new one, that Model S Plaid, it's not just fast on the takeoff. Oh, yes.
Oh, it's not
it's under 2 seconds.
Excuse me.
Not just fast on the takeoff, it's fast all the way through. It's now the fastest car ever made on the street, like all the way through.
The S?
Yeah, the Plaid. It's a new model called Plaid.
Oh, okay.
But you can get in Model S, but yes, it's called Plaid. Get you that Tesla Plaid. You can afford it, man.
Tesla Plaid.
I
have to see them. I have never seen one. I don't think.
You can afford. Yeah, you have to look. The only difference you'll see, if you look at the steering wheel, it's like an airplane yoke. And then the only difference you'll see is the word Plaid written across the back of it.
P-L-A-D or A-I-D?
P-L-A-I-D.
Plaid. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me check it out, man. That's nice.
Now, me and you need to go test drive. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, we roll over there.
We need to roll over to Tesla because they'll let you test drive all their cars at the mall. At the mall, bro.
At the mall.
That's where I bought mine from the mall.
You didn't buy yours at that mall over there?
Yes.
Close by
I went
the mall
there just to look at them, and they were like, "You want to test drive it?" Like, I can test drive here at the mall. They were like, "Yeah." Took that bad boy out and test drove at the mall.
At the mall.
Yeah. So when we roll
and you were hooked. You were hooked when you test drove it at the mall.
100%. I was hooked the first time I rode in my boys. I was like, "Oh, if I have to get a new car, it's going to be a Tesla." See,
and that's what happened. Your boy let you roll in his.
Yeah, that's my plan on you. I'm trying to spend your money.
You trying to flip me. You trying to flip me to the Tesla
Let me
world.
get it washed first, because I want you to get the full. No. I want you to ride around in like I do every day, right?
Okay, all right.
Like I do.
And you say it updates in the night, like when you sleeping, there's an update to it, like a phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're gonna see. You need.
That's crazy, bro.
I don't know why.
I'm a gas person. I'm used to smelling gas. I'm used to having gas on my hands.
Look, I can get you a can of gas and lay it on the front seat of your Tesla if you just want to smell gas. You can do that. Nothing's gonna stop you from buying a 12-ounce bottle of gas at the Arco or the Chevron.
See what happens when you talk to somebody that's funny? They're gonna put some gas in my car.
Yeah, I'll just put it in the back seat if you're used to that smell. All right, brother. Man, really great talking to you.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you so much for, like I said, for coming out, man. Keep doing what you do.
I'm glad you didn't tell them that dude who was crying backstage was Gary Anthony Williams. It was his last day of stand-up.
I know it's not you, but if it was, I wouldn't tell anyone.
Okay.
Thank you, my brother.
Right on, my man. Peace.
Peace.